Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, today we're tackling something that sounds kind of intimidating, but is actually beautifully simple. We are going to build a completely functional, highly professional website from scratch. And the absolute best part, we're going to do it without writing a single line of code ourselves. No way, right? But it's true. We're using a brand new tool called Zcode, and we're going to power it using something you probably already have sitting on your computer right now. Let's jump in.
Look, let's be honest, we've all felt this pain point. If you're out there applying for jobs, sending a plain PDF resume just doesn't cut it anymore. It completely gets lost in the stack. But a clean, personal website that a recruiter can actually scroll through, that looks infinitely more professional. So today, we're fixing that resume problem by turning your basic PDF into a modern interactive portfolio.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll meet your new AI workspace. Then, walk through the LinkedIn PDF strategy. After that, we'll prompt the site, run an AI model showdown, push the limits with a jungle run game test, and finally answer the big question, is Zcode actually worth it? And hey, if you aren't a developer, seriously, do not stress. We're taking a very structured, incredibly easy path today.
All right, Section 1, Meet Your AI Workspace.
To pull us off, we need the right workspace, which brings us to Zcode. This is a brand new desktop app from a Chinese AI company called ZAI, and you just download it directly to your Mac, Windows, or Linux machine. Now, if the term IDE is new to you, don't let the jargon intimidate you. It stands for Integrated Development Environment, but really, it's just the digital room when the magic happens. It's the workspace where people build apps. If you've heard of tools like Cursor or Codex, those are IDEs. Zcode is simply the newest player on the field, and it's where the AI is going to do all the heavy lifting and actually write the code for us.
Okay, before we start building, we just need to nail down two basic concepts you're going to see inside Zcode. First up, tokens. Honestly, just think of tokens as the fuel in the AI's gas tank. It's simply a measure of how much work the AI can do for you before you run out of capacity for the day.
And the second concept is the context window. So if tokens are the fuel, the context window is the AI's short-term memory. It dictates exactly how much information or data the AI can hold in its head at one single time. Just to give you an idea, the GLM 5.2 model inside Zcode has a massive 1 million context window. That means it can remember a vast amount of instructions and code all at once. All right, vocabulary out of the way, you are fully prepared to start building.
Moving right along to Section 2, the LinkedIn PDF strategy.
The absolute brilliance of this strategy is that your entire career history, your bio, your skills, it's all already written and waiting to be leveraged. We're not typing all that out again. And the process is almost unbelievably simple. Step 1, you literally just go to your LinkedIn profile. Step 2, hit that More button and click Save to PDF. Boom, your whole professional profile downloads as a single file. Step 3, open up a new task in Zcode and literally just drag that PDF right into the chat box. That's the whole shebang. Your data is prepped.
Which brings us to Section 3, Prompting Your New Website.
Now that Zcode has your data, we've got to tell it what to do. But so the crucial point is that before you just hand over the keys to the AI, you have permission options like edit automatically or full access. My absolute highest recommendation here, always start with plan mode. Plan mode forces the AI to show you its blueprint first. You get to see the full structure of what it's about to build, and you can change anything before a single file is actually written. If you give it full access right out of the gate, you totally lose that vital control. Okay, so check out the exact prompt we used for this test. Listen to how basic this is. I've attached my resume. Use it to build a complete modern portfolio website with all my details, experience, and projects pulled directly from it. Make it look and feel like a professional design portfolio with a polished UI and a strong hero section. Notice how incredibly simple that is? We kept it super basic on purpose, just to see what the AI would decide to do entirely on its own. All right, Section 4, the AI model showdown. This is where things get really fun. To make this a true test, we didn't just ask one AI to build this site. Inside Zcode, we hooked it up to OpenRouter. You just paste in your private OpenRouter API key, and instantly you unlock access to basically any model on the market. For our showdown, we ran that exact same prompt through GLM 5.2, Anthropic's highly underrated Sonnet 5, and the incredibly powerful Fable 5. We wanted to see who actually wins this thing.
So let's look at the results. 3 models, same basic prompt, 3 completely different styles. GLM 5.2 came out swinging with a really solid dark theme. It perfectly pulled the bio and timeline and had totally working nav links. Sonnet 5 fired back, going a totally different route. A crisp, minimal white look with slick scrolling animations and hitting the email link actually opened the Mail app directly. Nice touch. But Fable 5? Wow. Fable delivered an absolute stunner. A beautiful dark palette with a gorgeous emerald gradient, subtle scrolling, and these incredibly clean, minimal cards. Highly polished, every link worked flawlessly. The crazy thing is, all three successfully built distinct, functional websites in seconds.
Let's move to Section 5 and see how this builds when we push the limits with a game test.
Because websites are one thing, right? But what happens when we ask these AIs to code complex game logic? We asked all three to build a 2D web game called Jungle Run. And man, this is where you really see the gap in capabilities. GLM 5.2 built Jungle Commando. You could move, you could shoot, but your shots pass right through the enemies. The main mechanic was completely broken. Sonnet 5 tried, but its character literally fell straight through the floor, game over before it even started. But Fable 5? It built a game called Operation Viper Strike, and it was the undeniable winner. It actually worked. Retro graphics, trees, a moon in the background, the character moved smoothly, the shooting connected, you could even pick up weapon upgrades. It was genuinely fun to play. Fable 5 just proved its superiority in complex logic, hands down.
Finally, Section 6. Is Zcode actually worth it?
We've seen it build websites and functional video games, but let's bring it back to practical takeaways for you. Should this be your main workspace? The honest truth? Established tools like Cursor or Codex are probably still a bit smoother for general daily tasks right now. But Zcode has an absolute superpower, and that is seamless model switching. The fact that you can plug in one OpenRouter key and effortlessly jump between GLM, Sonnet, Fable, or anything else with a single click, that's its true selling point. Cursor can do it, sure, but it takes way more steps. Zcode makes it incredibly frictionless.
And let's quickly break down the economics, because this matters. Zcode's free plan is remarkably generous. You get 3 million tokens every single day on GLM 5.2 and 2 million on GLM 5 Turbo, completely for free. My advice here? Stick to those generous free daily tokens. Exhaust that fuel tank before you ever consider the paid tiers, which range from $16 all the way up to a pretty pricey $144 a month. Just take the free trial, test out your use cases, and don't pay until you absolutely have to.
So that brings us to the end of our explainer. We've seen how just grabbing a simple PDF and writing a basic prompt can generate polished, interactive websites and even playable games in a matter of seconds. The barrier to entry has literally never been lower. So, my final question for you. Will you trust an AI to build your next professional portfolio? I highly challenge you to take your own LinkedIn PDF, download Zcode, and just try this completely risk-free strategy yourself. You might just be amazed at what you create. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.